Hey guys, Fat Man is here. Got my Neos on the bench, and I'm gonna try again. This will be take 3 on a cleaning video. At least this time I took it to the range, did some shooting, had some pretty good targets out of it, got my sights adjusted nice. So we're gonna try to do this, and I'm gonna try to do this as quick as I can. There's a lot of really good detailed videos out there for cleaning one of these. So I'm not going to get too carried away. There's way too many of them out there. So I'll make it really quick. Safety check, lock the slide back. Chamber's empty. Got a hair there. We'll see how well we can do this. This button here has to be depressed, and then there's a thumb wheel right here. This button locks the thumb wheel. So you hold the button in. There's a lock on the other side here. So when you push it, hopefully you can see that it moves. That unlocks your thumb wheel. And your thumb wheel is basically, it's just a nut holding a stud that's on the barrel. You need your slide back because you cannot take the barrel off because the extractor sits in this groove. So you won't be able to get it off with the slide forward. So it slides back. We're going to push this, and we're going to spin the thumb wheel. And it's standard righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And there's your barrel. The rail comes off, so whatever you've got on there for a sight is going to be, your sights are on the rail. So when you put it back together, being aligned with the barrel, it's going to be perfect every time you take it apart. You don't have to worry about it. We'll set the barrel aside for the moment. The rest of this, when you drop your slide, your slide comes right off towards the front. That's simple. Here's your recoil spring. Your firing pin, just kind of push in and just hold it there really. And pull the trigger, and then your firing pin will come out with the spring. And that, there isn't a whole lot more than that to it for a field strip. Now we can get in here. I hate the Remington ammo, it's really kind of dirty. But right now you can see your trigger bar moving. Okay, so you get an idea where some of the moving parts are. Your safety, again, I don't like that. That's down for safe. I'm a 1911 kind of guy, and down is fire. And when it's down, it you can feel it in the web of your hand. So you know it's on. But for some of this, I'm just going to take a brush and kind of knock the carbon out of it. I only put 50 rounds through it, but I'm a fan of cleaning my guns after every range trip, at least for a field strip clean. And we'll just go through it like that. Grab a rag, and anything that was knocked loose we want to be able to get off. And it's not real dirty because I did, like I said, this is take 3, so it's been cleaned. And the one was it was more detailed. So really, that's all there is to that. When it comes to lubrication, I'll take my firing pin, we'll wipe it down good. I tend to run my guns a little on the wet side because, I don't know, I just do. Not extremely wet by any means, but just a little wetter than most people would. Really, there's nothing more to it. When I got this, there was quite a bit of crud built up on the firing pin. So I've gotten all that off. The spring looks pretty good. So I'm not going to do a whole lot with that. As far as lube, since I know I'm going to be going out, rem oil tends to dry out pretty fast. But since I don't have any ballistol or anything else, I've got CLP, which I use mostly for cleaning. But on something like this, I'm just going to put a little rem oil on here, and I'm going to rub it in. A little more than I should. Just kind of sop some off. Stick her back in there. And now, when you're looking at the firing pin, this part goes down. This is where your sear engages. So you want to keep that part down. This serves as a cocked indicator. I wouldn't say a loaded chamber. When it's cocked, you see this. There's a little red dot in there. So with the spring back on the firing pin, we slide her back in, and you kind of got to help it a little. And when you push it all the way back, it's going to cock, and then gently let it forward, and it won't come out again because the sear is holding it in place. That takes care of that. In the slide, you'll get some gunk built, or well, carbon buildup along in here where your slide runs across here. It rides across these places. So it's not a big deal. Just take your brush. Once you got it brushed, a little rag to get the chunkies out. And there ain't a whole lot more to it. Check back in here. Back down in through there. I need to get some better Q-tips. I need the long wooden to get down in there real good, but this isn't too bad. The face of your bolt face here, I always keep a little CLP in a plastic tub. Grab a Q-tip. Obviously this is my gun bench because everything is right pretty much at my fingertips. I'm going to just kind of take some CLP and go around all of this. As you can see, it's dirty, and that's only after 50 rounds. Then we'll take a brush after the CLP is on there and just kind of make sure we get it all out. Wipe it a little bit. The extractor, I just want one drop. I don't want a lot of oil in there, and because it's working fine, so I'm not going to do anything as far as that's concerned. And pretty much that's all we're going to do with the slide. We'll put a drop here and a drop here, and we'll just kind of wipe it in there a little bit. You can see there's some wear right here, so we want to make sure that gets some lube. And that is about it for the slide. The spring goes in from the back of the slide. Your slide goes back on this way. Right over the firing pin is where that spring goes. And slide it back all the way and just lock it in place again. So I'll show you that from this side. Just sometimes you got to give it a little wiggle. Oh, I forgot, this here too needs a little lube. Good thing. I just use my finger to put a little on there because it doesn't need a lot. Alright, just because that rides inside the slide. So we'll slide that all the way back. You get it back about this far, you'll have to pull a little because it's fighting two springs at that point. Alright, that part's back together. Here's the barrel. Again, sorry about that. Use a little CLP on the bolt face, or in the face here, on the feed ramp. Let's get that all up in there. Because these are places that normally will get dirty. Back here, this rides in the slide, so you want to make sure that's all clean. Any carbon deposits and stuff can cause some pretty undue wear. And these corners, it's hard to get in there with a Q-tip, so that's why I use the brush. The brush will get down into those corners, get the crap out. Up here too, where the extractor goes in. This brush has got a small side and a big side. The small side will get down into some of these other corners around the feed ramp. And it really does a good job of getting into little corners. And there we go with that. Now, this is where some people will differ. I'm going to take a patch, I'm going to soak it in CLP, bring it out a little bit. I'm going to set it right over. And I'm going to take my brush, or not my brush, my jag here. And I'm just going to run her through. And you can see all the crap that came out, I hope. I don't know that you can. So we'll chuck that patch. Let's get rid of these Q-tips. Sorry about that interruption. I hate when my phone rings. Anyway, back to where we were. I'll take that off. This is a nylon 22 brush. And I'm just going to push her through all the way. And I'm going to take the brush off. Oh, they left a message anyway. Pull my rod out, and I'm going to run the brush through 2 times. Whenever you're cleaning a gun, you should always go from the breech as opposed from the muzzle. I know there are times when you don't have a choice. There's some guns that you just can't clean from the breech. So with that done, we'll switch back over to our jag. Grab a couple more patches here. And then I just run that through again. The first one, I'll just flip it over and I'll run it through on each side. And it's coming out a little on the dirty side. I'll take another one, do the same thing with it, and it's coming out much cleaner now. But we'll run that one through twice. That looks pretty good. So we'll take a third patch and give it the acid test. Well, I'm going to run that one through again too. Seems like we're just knocking more crap loose as we go here. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to take a little rem oil and I'm just going to put it on a patch. And we want to lube the barrel because it is a steel barrel. And we're going to run her through. Got a little more crap out, so we'll run her through again. There we go. And now the barrel is lubricated. And boy, is it clean. I like when it comes together like that. Get that put away. So now we're ready to put it back together. And you set it together right there. This will need a little bit of oil here. And that's a little much. There we go. So all of this fits together. There's the top of the slide. This part goes right here when you're putting it together. Now it's pretty much going to go together the way you have it because of the way this is assembled. So we'll push our button in and we will Make sure we're caught on there on the threads and not cross-threaded. It should screw back down pretty easily. Something's not fitting quite the way it should here. There we go. You kind of got to have the back down first so that it gets in the right spot, at least on mine. And there we go. We're back together. Take our rag. Usually don't use this rag for this, but I love this. The finish that's on here is a nice matte black finish. I really like it. So I am going to put an optic on here. I have a BSA red dot that I'm going to put on this, just for giggles, and see how that does as well. So maybe I'll do a video on that too. Maybe not. I got a lot of stuff in the pipe here. There's our Beretta. I did pick this up used, and the trigger on it, I've heard a lot of things about the triggers on these, and this is the older style, so there are a few things I can do to it, but I kind of like it, so I don't think I'm going to do anything to it. I'm used to a harder trigger. I've also heard some people talking about these roll pins that hold this rail on coming out. And while I haven't had a problem with it, I'll keep an eye on that. And if I do, I'll let you know how the fix goes. So, all that being said, that's the quick low down dirty on the Beretta U22 Neos cleaning it. So, y'all have a great day. Stay safe. God bless.